It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Hope everybody's having a great week, and thank you all for joining me here on 1250 WHNZ to That Business Show. And again, you'll find this show here weekdays at 8 a.m. And again, this show is all about our business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and people making a difference in and around the community. So please help support this show. Visit our website, tampabayradio.com. You can find all of my past shows of this show as well. And also, please help support the show providers. On the website, you'll see a link to the preferred providers. So please help support them and help continue to grow the show. Having a lot of fun doing this format and meeting a lot of very influential people making a difference in and around the community. You can see all of our guest interviews on the homepage as well. There's a link over to our guest network. Click on that, and you'll see all the guest and show interviews. So some great information to be found over at tampabayradio.com as well. And if you're a fellow business owner or entrepreneur looking to make an appearance on the show, feel free to contact me. A lot of people are reaching out to me now as the show's starting to get known, and I'm in my 11th week of doing this format. And again, this has been a great show and getting a lot of great feedback from the community and people. So take some time and come into the show. Just send me an email, Jamie at tampabayradio.com, best way to get me. And you can also get me through my contact form on my website, again, tampabayradio.com. And you can also find all the show updates and upcoming guests on that website, as well as all the social networking sites, facebook.com /That Business Show, and Twitter under the handle Jamie_Meloni. And if you're a podcast enthusiast, I've even got a podcast up there on iTunes with all the shows under That Business Show. So please help support the show and help it grow and become a staple in the community for business owners and entrepreneurs to have a voice and take a break from all the political talking points that seem to dot the airwaves each and every day. And I like that stuff too, to an extent, but I think we need a break from that. We need some more positive messages on the airwaves, and that's what I'm here to hopefully start doing and or get other people to start doing as well. So please help join me and contact me, Jamie at tampabayradio.com. Great show planned for you today. In just a moment, we'll be talking with Nikki Ross-Inda with Moffitt Cancer Center about Moffitt Healthy Kids and about childhood prevention of cancer, making the right choices, things of that nature. So we'll have a great discussion about preventing cancer from the early stages on, or within, or I should say not early stages, but early on in life. And on the second part of the show, we'll be talking with Malcolm Tennant, regular contributor to That Business Show. He is the Chief Operating Officer at Access Reverse Mortgage, and learn more about him over at accessreverse.com. And it'll be a great discussion about reverse mortgages, and reach out to him if you're in the business, or I'm sorry, if you're in the need for a reverse mortgage. So it'll be some great information on reverse mortgages on the second part of the show. So let's go and bring on my first guest. Nikki Ross-Inda is the founder and coordinator of the Moffitt Healthy Kids, a signature program offered at the Moffitt Cancer Center in Tampa. Through the Moffitt Healthy Kids program, Nikki and student volunteers with an interest in science and health-related careers provide education and fun activities for children of all ages and backgrounds with the goal of reducing health disparities and childhood obesity. She believes Moffitt may be the cancer center that may find a groundbreaking cure for this terrible disease. Nikki, welcome to the show today.
Well, good morning, Jamie, and thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much as well for stopping in. So let's talk first all about what Moffitt Cancer Center is and your role in the organization.
Well, Moffitt Cancer Center is also a staple in our community, not just in our community, but throughout the entire state of Florida and the southeast region. We are number one in cancer, and our patient care is our number one priority.
You say you're number one in cancer, you mean say cancer research?
Cancer research in cancer, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So, in your role at the organization is on top of Moffitt Healthy Kids. What else are you involved in at the organization?
Well, I'm involved in the community at the grassroots level, and some of my priorities are to provide education to the Tampa Bay community, and actually several counties, Pasco, Pinellas, Hillsborough County, and just providing cancer awareness and prevention, particularly to underserved communities, whereas primarily your African Americans and Hispanic populations have a higher mortality rate when it comes to cancer.
Okay, so we got your website up there on the stream just a second ago, and keep in mind you can watch all the shows live here in studio. Just head over to TampaBayRadio.com and click on the live stream, Moffat.org. But you're right, you do hear Moffat Cancer Center involved in a number of things in the Tampa Bay community, a very connected organization within the Bay Area. So talk to me about Moffat Healthy Kids. What does this program entail?
Well, this program started in 2008. I have to say that on my drive here, it's coming all the way from Wesley Chapel. It's very important.
I come all the way from Lutz every morning, so we should have hitched a ride.
We should
just rode together, yes.
So I took the Selman Expressway, and it was really like a trip down memory lane because the late Mr. Leroy Selman actually supported one of my very first events at the Cancer Center. I was having a very large health fair at the beautiful West Tampa Library. And at that time, Mr. Selman took time out of his very, very busy schedule. As you know, that he was a Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
We loved him. And he took time to come out to meet guests. It was at that health fair where I saw the families bring in the kids. So I was providing programming. We brought in some Moffat physicians, and were providing programs for adults. And for the kids, we were giving away bike helmets. I had artists there that was, doing cartoon characters of them and blowing up balloons. And it was really in that moment that I thought, you know what? Moffat's mission statement is to contribute to the prevention and cure of cancer. So prevention starts early.
Early, right.
So that's kind of what got my juices flowing to create this program that we should provide not only programming for adults, but cancer prevention, and start it with kids.
Okay, so you went to the powers that be within Moffat, and you said, I want to open up Moffat Healthy Kids and then focus on educating the youth on about how to avoid, cancer later in their life, correct?
Well, yeah, kinda. I have to say, Moffat is an adult. They focus on adult prevention and treatment. Mm-hmm. And so, anytime that you have a vision, any entrepreneur knows that it takes a lot of work, a lot of chatter, and sometimes you have to kind of knock down those walls in order to.
So you got met with pushback, obviously, before they're like, "This is
a little bit." Yeah,
like, kids probably aren't going to respond right. They aren't going to know what you're talking about. They're not going to care. Kind of, you probably got those types of talking points.
And it was
back
new.
at you. Mm-hmm.
It was just a new concept. But thankfully, I have a dynamic leadership team, and throughout the Cancer Center, we have 4,500 employees, and I can truly say, from environmental services all the way up to our CEO, Dr. Alan Liss, we are committed to this mission and to finding a cure.
So how does the program work? Is this for kids up to a certain age? Is it a certain week program? Talk to me about how this program works.
Okay, that's a good question. Originally, currently, we started out working with kids as early as 3 years old. So I'm a fixture in the Hillsborough County Head Start schools. And so that's 3, 4, and 5. And the first week we talk about the importance of fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables have a lot of antioxidants. Right. And I just really love talking that with the kids, because
and all the kids hate them, and all the kids hate them, and they want to complain about them, right?
But they do. But the beauty of what I do is psychologically, I try to get them excited about eating fruits and vegetables and make this fun. Mm-hmm. So education has to be fun. I really feel for our kids in the high school. This constant testing, and it really kind of, it weighs down on you. So my philosophy is that prevention starts early, and let's make it fun through this programming. So we talk about fruits and vegetables, and then we kind of switch gears, and then we talk about sun protection. Now, we live in Florida. It's a fact that skin cancer, melanoma in particularly, is one of the most dangerous forms of cancer. So we start early with the kids, and talk about what are ways that we can protect our skin from the sun. And I'm blessed because Moffat provides hats and sunglasses, and we actually give these out in the community. Mm-hmm. So it kind of reinforces what the kids learn. So we talk about how to protect our skin from the sun, and then they get to the take home items. So that's very important, and also one of my favorite educations. And then we go outside and we talk about fitness. Now that the kids become very competitive.
Right.
But I try not to make this competitive because I want us to have that, we're in this as a team. Just like this morning with your guests, we're here as a team to communicate a message to the Tampa Bay community. And I just really appreciate you having me on the show today.
No, I
Jamie.
appreciate you coming in. So how do you get the message out to the community? Do you go to schools? Is there a place where kids come to you in sort of like a camp setting? You talk to me about how the program operates.
Okay, so, I go to the Head Start sites. I also go to after-school programming. I go to places like the NFL Yet Center, where organizations that have the large groups of kids. Some of my busiest times of the year is back to schools events, so I participate in back to school events. Also, I'm very, very excited that we're kind of expanding the program and really addressing the need of STEM and to support
STEM. What is STEM?
STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Okay.
And this is very important because, we need to groom this next group of healthcare professionals. So we have started offering science tours at the Cancer Center. That's something else that I coordinate. And the kids are able to come in. I bring our doctors in to talk to the kids, and then they actually take a tour up into our labs. And that's something that I think that's very unique that Moffitt is doing in the community, that we're supporting. STEM is actually a national initiative, and we're doing that here at the Moffitt Cancer Center.
Some great information. Got to take a quick break, but stay tuned when we talk a little bit more with Nikki Ross-Enda with the Moffitt Healthy Kids here on That Business Show when we come back. And again, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by Account Temps. When your accounting and finance workload blooms this spring, turn to Account Temps. Account Temps can provide professional temporary accounting and finance support to nip burnout in the bud. Visit AccountTemps.com to learn more. Account Temps, a Robert Half company.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center. Today, a 30% rain chance, especially inland, high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain with a high 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Catch the show here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ and learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com. Talking with Nikki Ross-Enda. She is a creator and coordinator at Moffitt Cancer Center. She's in studio today talking about the Moffitt Healthy Kids program, a program over at the Moffitt Cancer Center. And Nikki, we know we were talking in the first segment about how involved Moffitt is in our community, and there are some upcoming events that Moffitt is going to be putting on again for the community. So let's talk about some of the upcoming events that Moffitt has on the horizon for the Tampa Bay community.
Absolutely. We invite the community to come out and join us for the 10th annual PNC Miles for Moffitt that will be held at the University of South Florida, Saturday, May 9th. You have the option of running an 8K, a 5K, a 1 mile. We also even have the race suited for those that might be in a wheelchair, and we have Kids Dash with Raymond. The Tampa Bay Rays have been very supportive of this event, and we want to support our Rays too. Also, we have Swim Across America Tampa Bay. It's a Tampa Bay open water swim that's taking place Saturday, May 30th, and Moffitt Cancer Center will be the beneficiary of the funds that are raised through that event. And one other item that's coming up, Moffitt will be showcasing a startup at the 9th annual Business of Bio Conference, April 17th, and our very well known Sam Donaldson, ABC News anchor, will be joining us for that event.
Wow, very nice. And I'm sure all these events are up over on Moffitt.org as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, very nice. Some great events. I know the Miles for Moffitt. I think I participated in that last year. Not in a running. I'm not a runner, so
that's okay. You can be a virtual runner now.
Oh, really? How's that? How's a virtual runner? How's that work? I just go online and run
and pay the fee. And I want to say that 100% of the registration fee goes to cancer research, and that's very important.
Right, very interesting. Now let's go back to the program, the Moffitt Healthy Kids program, a program put on by the Moffitt Cancer Center. How has and you started this in 2008, correct?
Correct. And
how has the response from the community, both the children and the parents, been since 2008 to now?
Well, I would say it's been very positive because we have reached over 9,000 families and children since the inception of the Moffitt Healthy Kids program. And even better news is that we have officially entered into an agreement with Mosey. And so we're going to be, you can't do any program without having partners. Right. And Jamie, I think you'll agree with that.
Absolutely.
You have to have community partners. We cannot afford to operate in these silos. We have to work together.
How is Mosey assisting the Moffitt Healthy Kids program? How's this working?
Well, Mosey has I'm one person. So Mosey has a comprehensive science program, and they actually are going to be providing some education. We're going to be able to provide access into Mosey for perhaps children that wouldn't typically have an opportunity to be able to go and be exposed to something as, Mosey's another jewel. That we have lots of jewels in Tampa, and they're a jewel.
Yeah. Let's go back to some of the educational components of the program. Again, Moffitt Healthy Kids. Learn more about this over at Moffitt.org. We talked about skin cancer prevention, the sun, eating healthy, the fruits and vegetables, tobacco. Let's talk about that with children these days. How are children responding to tobacco? Is the message getting out of the danger in the younger community versus the older generations?
Well, over 5,000 kids has actually signed a pledge indicating that they will not smoke. So it's a tobacco-free pledge card. And I was thankful several years ago, B.K. Jackson, who is now currently traveling. I think he's in Australia, actually. But he has been performing with Prince as well. B.K. is a homegrown here in the Tampa Bay area who joined me initially. And so he's featured on the tobacco-free pledge card. The kids, it's interesting. If you just think back in your childhood, it was almost taboo to talk about smoking. You didn't want to talk about smoking or drinking. But kids, especially kids that come from homes where parents smoke, they know about smoking. They see it, and so we have a soft conversation around tobacco use. And I bring in this jar of tar, which is really quite disgusting, and we talk about the chemicals that here's a little bit of education for your listeners, Jamie. There are over 5,000 chemicals that are in a tobacco cigarette, and 40 of those are known, 40 to 50 are well known to cause
carcinogens.
Absolutely,
cancer.
So, lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer among all the cancers. And this could, I want to say it can be preventable, but, secondhand smoke, I just would hope that parents will just consider that when they're driving in the car and they have their kids, and we live in Florida, the windows are rolled up, we have the air on, to be more conscientious about smoking around our kids, because it is deadly.
Yeah, secondhand smoke, a lot of people don't realize the dangers of secondhand smoke. And how are kids reacting to the discussion on tobacco? I mean, it seems to be like, tobacco use is really dying down in our society, but what are you seeing from the kids versus years ago? Are you seeing all the PSAs that are out there against anti-smoking? Is it really making a big difference in and around our communities?
I think that it's making a difference, but I think that education, you have to have the education, with not going too far into it. There is a rise with our youth are using e-cigarettes, and there's still more data that needs to be collected on the dangers.
You're talking about the vapor,
yes.
The vapor ones.
Yes. But to me, and this is off the record, my personal opinion, I think it's common sense that's not healthy for you to inhale
any type of smoke that you're
exactly.
It's probably not good, but obviously probably some things need more research.
But I think that this program is making a difference. If I can save 1 or 2 children that will refuse, that will be brave and bold to say no to smoking as they get older, and that they will remember what they learned in school, then we've accomplished something very good.
Now, talk to me about how you involve the parents. Obviously, the parents have to be an integral part of, educating their children on, proper preventative maintenance, I should say, I guess, for a mechanical term, I guess, thrown in there. But talk to me about how you involve the parents in the Healthy Kids program. Okay,
well, a lot of times I will come to the parent meetings in the evening. And, I would really love to see more parental involvement in the schools. There are parents that are there. You can become part of the PTA, but a lot of times in your urban communities and schools, you don't see the parental involvement that I think that needs to be there, and I think that's attributed to some of the dropout rates later in life with our high school kids. So I go to places like health fairs to try to do our best to reach the kids. Again, back to school events, generally they're accompanied by their parent. And we hand out material, healthy lifestyle materials on cancer prevention in those areas. A lot of times you have to go to where the people are. And it'd be nice if actually I would never work in an 8-to-5 job in an office. That just doesn't fit my personality. But it's very important that if you want to get your message out, you have to do what it takes, go to the places where the people are to get your message out.
Now, is this do you go to school? Is there? I think I'd read somewhere this was a 5-week program. Is it still just kind of a daily thing where you go and do like a one meeting, or is there an actual program around this right now?
Well, it is a program, but it's a program that can be tweaked. So there might be where I'll go into the high schools and I'll just talk about the dangers of smoking and sun protection. Okay. Whereas with the Head Start schools, I do the 5-week program.
And for parents and organizations that want to get more information, what's the best way to get information on this program?
I would say either visit our website, www.moffitt.org, or email me, nikki.enda@moffitt.org, and I believe that is on your website, Jimmy.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll get that up on the show recap over at TampaBayRadio.com, that information. Nikki, thank you very much, and thank you for everything that you're doing for the Tampa Bay community with this program. Very, very good.
And same to you, Jamie.
Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Coming back from the break, we'll be talking with Malcolm Tennant, COO of Access Reverse, here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products. hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Trust Aries Roofing Services. Call or visit online today for your Trustdale deal.
Trustdale.com. Tune in this weekend to get tips and advice from Air Rescue on how to keep your air conditioner running like a top. Or get a sweet deal on tuning up your air conditioner at cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, I just want to say thank you for making my Geico Insurance ID card digital. It's easy to find on the app, it doesn't give me paper cuts, and I always have it on hand because it's on my phone. Because of this, I finally cleaned out my glove box, which was filled with years of paper ID cards. Any thought on what I should put in my glove box now? Sincerely, Trent Patterson. Trent, what can you put in the glove box? Here's a crazy thought. How about gloves?
Digital insurance ID cards, just a tap away on the Geico app.
This report is brought to you by Sam's Club. With the Sam's Club membership, you get incredible savings every time you shop. Try their tender boneless pork loin or delicious marinated Alaskan Copper River sockeye salmon and 16-ounce package of organic kale salad medley. Join and save. Sam's Club. Life is better in the club. See club for details.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Bay Drive westbound just east of Highlands Avenue has 2 lanes blocked for a serious crash. If you're heading across the Gandy Boulevard, eastbound is stop and go for the entire span, and we're still dealing with a serious wreck. Dr. King Street just south of 22nd Avenue in St. Petersburg. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. More sunshine today. We'll see a few scattered clouds. Rain chance at 20% for some afternoon showers. Upper 80s for the high, and tonight's lows into the low 70s. Impact Radio 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Catch the show here weekdays at 8 a.m. here on 1250 WHNZ. And again, this show is all about business owners, entrepreneurs, people making a difference in and around the Tampa Bay and regional communities. So if you're out there and would like to make an appearance on the show, please contact me. Best way to get me, Jamie at tampabayradio.com. Just shoot me a quick email with a pitch of what it is that you're doing, and we'll get you in queue there for an appearance. And again, you can also contact me through my website, contact form at tampabayradio.com. On the first part of the show, we were just talking with Nikki Ross Enda of the Moffitt Cancer Center about the program, the Moffitt Healthy Kids program. Learn more about that over at Moffitt.org. A great conversation there, and thanks again to Nikki for what she and Moffitt is doing for the community, and we'll get all that information on the upcoming events as well as how you can get some more information on that program up on my show recap. That'll be posted shortly after the show over at tampabayradio.com. On the main page, there'll be a link to show recaps. After each and every show, I always do a blog about the guests. So keep that in your daily blog readings as well. Some great information. If you don't catch the show, you can always catch a recap over at tampabayradio.com. Let's go and bring on my second guest for the show. Malcolm Tennant is an expert contributor to That Business Show, and he is the co-founder of Access Reverse Mortgage and has overseen the funding of more than 1,000 reverse mortgages since 2005. Malcolm is also a member of numerous organizations that help the community and is with us today to talk about reverse mortgages and much more. Malcolm, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Jamie. It's good to be here.
So what's new with you these days?
Well, I want to get a plug in first. I recently joined the board of the Alzheimer's, the Walk to End Alzheimer's board in Pinellas County, and they have a big walkathon coming up every fall. And
yeah, I remember we talked about that on the last segment that you were with and everything. But go ahead.
Okay, all right. So we're looking for team leaders for walkers, and sponsors for that. And I just want to mention that anybody who's interested, I'm sure can contact me through your website.
Yeah, absolutely. You're on the preferred providers page of TampaBayRadio.com. Talk to me about why you're so involved with the Alzheimer's organization. I know there's a family component to this and everything. Something. So talk to me a little bit more about the importance of ending Alzheimer's and from your perspective.
Sure. Yeah, both my mother and my father-in-law suffered with Alzheimer's, and I saw what it did to the families. And my father actually tried to care for my mother until his heart gave out, and it's so devastating to not only the person suffering with the disease, but also the caregivers, and it really is close to my heart because of that.
Yeah. So, and again, thank you for getting involved in the community. That's one of the things that this show is all about. What people are doing for the community. So let's talk a little bit more about your company, Reverse Mortgage. Talk to me a little bit about you're in your 10th year now, right?
Yes, this week is actually our 10th anniversary.
10th anniversary.
Yeah, which is an eternity in our industry, unfortunately.
Right.
But, yeah, we've also been ranked #1 producer of reverse mortgages again for the fourth quarter of any Florida-based company. And I think there's a connection between the 10 years and the #1 ranking.
And you're strictly just in the reverse mortgage market. You're not in traditional loans, correct?
That's true. Yeah, that's a big issue in our industry. There's an awful lot of traditional mortgage people that try and dabble in reverse mortgages. The average forward mortgage company does less than 2 reverse mortgages per year.
But yet they market themselves as being a provider, and so people obviously are not getting the level of education that they get when they talk with you over at Access Reverse, obviously, since that's your specialty. Now, let's for the listeners that aren't highly familiar, I think everybody knows a little bit about what a reverse mortgage is. Set the stage for them. Tell me what a reverse mortgage is, the basics of them.
Sure. First, many people have got a bit of a negative image of reverse mortgages as a financial product. Everybody's heard something. Most people don't know what, but they've heard something. And reverse mortgage is not good or evil. It's a financial planning tool, and it's just like any other mortgage. There's no transfer of ownership. You borrow money. You get a statement in the mail each month that tells you how much you owe, tells you how much interest was charged the previous month. Unlike a traditional mortgage, though, you have no obligation to make a payment when you get that statement. So the next month your statement comes and you owe a little bit more because they've added the interest from last month onto your balance. And that just continues on as long as you live in the home. So it's a great device for taking equity out of your home without selling it and creating extra cash flow or paying off an existing mortgage and getting rid of that payment. But it's just like a regular mortgage. People way overthink reverse mortgages.
One of the big myths that are out there is that the government can take your home, and you hear some of the negative news stories, and it's because they didn't pay taxes or they didn't pay the insurance. But talk to me about that myth and where that is coming from, the fear that the government, and when I say the government, these are FHA insured mortgages, so the government, faction there, the FHA that's when I say the government, can take the home or whatever. So talk to me about this myth.
Yeah, no more with a reverse mortgage than with a traditional mortgage. Can anybody take your home from you? It's FHA's involvement is they guarantee the end value of the property to the investors who buy these loans and to the borrowers. So when the day comes to sell the house, and that might be in 5 years because the borrower decides to move, or it might be in 25 years because the both husband and wife have passed and now the heirs are selling the house. But when that day comes, if the real estate market has crashed again and there's more owing on the reverse mortgage than the property's worth, which could happen, did just happen, FHA steps in and pays the shortfall. But that's the extent of their involvement. They have no ownership interest in your home. They're only there in the situation where economy turns bad. They would step in. So other than that, just like a regular mortgage.
Now, there are some changes on the horizon. I know we've talked about that in the past shows, but talk to me about some of the changes and what consumers that are in this potential marketplace need to be aware of right now.
Yeah, there's something called financial assessment coming in April 27th, so just a couple of weeks away. It's for most people, it's not going to affect them. It's just making the program stronger, more financially sound. There's a certain component of our customers now that will not be eligible anymore, or practically speaking won't be eligible anymore. So anybody who's had any negative credit event, certainly foreclosures, bankruptcies, that sort of thing, late payments, I'd really encourage them to call us this week if they might have interest in a reverse mortgage anytime in the future, because that's the category of people we're probably not going to be able to help anymore.
What are some of the changes that are expected? Are they raising the borrower limit? Is there tighter lending restrictions? Talk to me about some of the changes, and is this going to make this more difficult to get a reverse mortgage? Is it going to kind of keep it level? How are these changes going to impact the industry?
I think it's just like all the changes, we'll just adapt to them. We're going to be required to show each borrower has the ability and willingness to pay their ongoing obligations. So ongoing obligations are property taxes, homeowners insurance, other loans they might have, that sort of thing. So that's the ability. The willingness is looking at credit history. There's no minimum credit score, but they do look for late payments of taxes, insurance, and other obligations. So overall, the majority of our customers are not going to be affected. A little more paperwork possibly required, but the people with in financial difficulty are maybe not going to be eligible anymore.
So let's talk about who a reverse mortgage is good for. If I'm first of all, what age do you have to be to get a reverse mortgage?
So at least one spouse has to be 62. You can have an underage spouse as well, under 62. The typical borrower, about half our borrowers have an existing mortgage they're paying off to get rid of, and then they no longer have a mortgage payment. So they're just replacing one mortgage with the other. The other half of our borrowers typically are setting up a line of credit where they just are getting this in place, sometimes to pay off existing obligations, but very often just to have the line of credit in place for emergencies rather than relying on credit cards. The value range, we do everything from double-wide manufactured homes up to multi-million-dollar beach properties, and it's really available to everybody. There are upper limits on how much you can borrow, but every house is basically eligible.
And another program we've talked about in the past is how people can use reverse mortgages for a new purchase. Let's talk about a little bit about that. Explain to me the reverse mortgage for purchase program and how that you can use these.
Sure. It's called HECM for purchase. HECM is what FHA calls a reverse mortgage. It came out in 2009. Our company wrote the first one ever written. Actually, my partner retired at that time and bought a house with a reverse mortgage. So it's just like buying a house with a traditional mortgage. It takes a bigger down payment. We can typically only get between 50 and 70% of value, where a traditional mortgage you get often 80% or higher. So someone has, for example, $100,000 cash and they want a retirement home with no mortgage payment. They can buy a $100,000 house, or they can buy a $200,000 or $250,000 house using the reverse mortgage to pay for the balance. And they have the same end result. They have a home to live in the rest of their life with no mortgage payment. So it's a good program, not widely understood, but it's coming into its own.
Now, when you are talking with your clients and everything, the people that are getting these reverse mortgages, do you find that you have to, do they have a lot of questions? Is there a lot of fear, so to speak, with a lot of the talking points that you hear out there in the media? Do you find yourself counseling a lot of these clients when they come in and educating them before actually enrolling them into a reverse mortgage?
Yeah, that's a big part of what we do. We really are in place to educate people, and a reverse mortgage isn't for everybody, but you're going to see it's for a lot more people than what people today believe. I think 5 years from now, a reverse mortgage is going to be a very mainstream product that everybody, the baby boomer generation, as a generation, we don't have enough money to retire on. It's just a statistic if we want to maintain our standard of living, and what we do have is primarily tied up in real estate. So you're going to see this come into its own.
Now, tell me why Access Reverse is a good choice for a reverse mortgage provider. We see on TV all the celebrity endorsements from these other organizations. Talk to me about Access Reverse and the differences between, like, the celebrity endorsing companies out there.
Sure. Okay. There's everybody's seen the Fred Thompson ads, and I mean the difference there, the first big difference is we don't spend the money on media, so our cost structure is lower. The second thing is we're a family-owned company. My wife and two of my sons work there, and then we have loan officers around the state. But I handle everything in this area locally, and so we don't have to pay commissions to anybody either, which gives us a cost advantage. But the biggest thing it gives us is we process your loans right here locally. We've been at the same location on Tyrone Boulevard in St. Petersburg for the last 10 years. And when your loan's in process, you're going to be calling directly into our office instead of into a call center, next available operator kind of deal. So we do offer a legitimate cost savings, but our customer service is where we're really strong.
Right.
We're a family company, but as I said, we're the #1 producer of reverse mortgages in the state of Florida, where we have 3 certified reverse mortgage professionals in Access, 3 of our loan officers. I'm one of them. There's only about 10 in the state of Florida and just over 100 in the entire country.
Wow, it must be a pretty extensive process then to get certified if there's only 10 in Florida.
It's the highest industry designation you can get, and you have to really
and that's a testament to your company then that you're one of them, and then 2 others on top of that. So, obviously, a great resource for reverse mortgages. I want to take a quick break, but we're currently talking with Malcolm Tennant, Chief Operating Officer over at Access Reverse. And when we come back from the break, he's got a free booklet here he's going to be offering to people about reverse mortgages on. So stay tuned for that. And again, you're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage want you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Wondering if your car's battery is reaching the end of the line? Stop by Advance Auto Parts. They'll test it for you, free of charge. And if you do need a new battery, they'll install that too. Again, no charge. Only at Advance Auto Parts.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Gandy Boulevard westbound just east of 275 has 2 lanes blocked for a serious crash. Still seeing 2 lanes blocked on East Bay Drive westbound just east of Highlands Avenue. If you're on the crosstown, it's bumper to bumper westbound from Falkenberg all the way into 78th Street. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Today, a 30% rain chance, especially inland, high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain with a high 86.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Meloni.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Learn more about the show over at TampaBayRadio.com, and keep in mind you can find this show on weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. And this is a show with a positive message about all our business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, people making a difference in and around the community. So I invite you to please tune in each and every weekday morning. And if you happen to miss the show, I'm on demand at a number of sites. I put the podcast up on iTunes. If you're a podcast listener, just search for That Business Show over in iTunes. And we put the show replays over on SoundCloud for the audios, also on the website, TampaBayRadio.com. I even got a YouTube channel with all the videos. So we've got all the channels covered. So there's no reason why you can't catch a replay of the show, whether it's live or it's repurposed on any of the sites out there, the social networking sites and things of that nature. So currently talk with Malcolm Tennant, Chief Operating Officer of Access Reverse Mortgage. Learn more about them over at accessreverse.com. And we've been talking about the reverse mortgage market and some of the myths within the industry. But Malcolm, you recently contributed to an upcoming book here. So talk to me about this chapter that you've written and how you got involved with this.
Yes, there's a caregiver advocate in Pinellas County. Her name's Linda Burhan. She's does a wonderful job, wonderful work. She's asked 16 people, experts in different areas of senior care and advocacy, to each write a chapter on their particular area of expertise. So the book's going to be pretty detailed and pretty expert.
Okay. And where can you find the book and everything? Is this out yet?
It's not out yet, no.
Okay. Now, you've written a chapter in this, and we're going to get this up for our listeners, but we're going to give this out to listeners free of charge. So let's talk about places where we're going to be able to find this. So talk to us about this.
Yeah, it's just in final edit, so within a day or two, we should be able to have it up on our website. If anybody wants a copy for certain, they can also contact me through your website or through accessreverse.com. Either way, or give us a call.
Go ahead with the number. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's 727-347-0305, 727-347-0305, and it really is a good summary of how the
I'm perusing it right now, this draft. It's about 6 pages long, and it really talks about what a reverse mortgage is. And just from reading this, I mean, I feel like I could go and be educated enough to sit down with you and go ahead and fill out an application right then and there. So we'll get this up to our listeners as well. Once we have the final edit in place, you can get this over on the show recap, and also we'll link this over to Malcolm's show card and under the preferred providers page. But again, you can also get it over at accessreverse.com, as well as a lot of other great information on reverse mortgages. Again, accessreverse.com. So let's talk about interest rates within a reverse mortgage. How are they compared to traditional mortgages?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that FHA guarantees to the investors who buy the loans that the house, if it's not worth the amount owing at the end of the time of payoff, that FHA steps in and pays the difference. So the investors have a federal government guarantee on the value of the collateral, so they're willing to loan money at very low rates. We've got rates as low as 2.2% annually right now. The FHA charges a fee, though, on top of that of 1.25% per year. So effectively, we can get cost of money or under 3.5% per year, which is pretty amazing. Very competitive with traditional mortgages. And that's rates have been at that level for about the last 6 years. So
right. And so the source of funds then is, I mean, there are a lot of different investors in this place. But talk to me about who is supporting the reverse mortgage markets out there, other than just we got the FHA guarantee out there. But talk to me about the source of funds.
Sure. It doesn't matter where you get your reverse mortgage. It's going to be processed, underwritten, insured by FHA within 30 days of closing, and then all reverse mortgages go to Ginnie Mae, another government-sponsored enterprise, and they're sold on the secondary markets in big packages, over $6 million packages, to pension funds, insurance companies, that sort of thing, big investors.
Okay. And you were on the show earlier in the year and stuff, and I remember we saw it, and just kind of rehash the myths that are out there. We saw a Tampa Bay Times article. It was like a front page article, if I remember right, too, on somebody who had lost their home to a reverse mortgage, and we had you in on the show the next day back when I was doing the real estate show. But talk to me about that article and the myth. And I read the article, and I think the reporter defeated herself. She wrote this article or this headline, and then her article pretty much didn't support what her headline said. But talk to me about that article that was out.
Yeah, it was real troublesome and unfortunately not untypical of what we see in the mainstream press on reverse mortgage. It was May 30th, I think, last year, a Sunday paper, St. Pete Times or Tampa Bay Times. The headline was "The Fix It Failed, a woman in Gulfport standing in front of her house crying." Well, if you only read the front page, she got a reverse mortgage in 2007. Now she's losing the house in foreclosure. Well, that's really difficult to do because as long as you pay your property taxes and homeowner's insurance and maintain the property, you can't lose the house. But you had to go to the inside pages to find out she quit paying her homeowner's insurance in 2009. So for 5 years, she did not pay her homeowner's insurance. Now she's getting foreclosed on. I mean, it should not have been a surprise to anybody that she was losing the house, and certainly not news, let alone front page news. Mm-hmm. But the Times made it a feature article.
Yeah, that's why I say I think it was a self-defeating article. You have the headline that said one thing, but then as you get into the body of the article, it tells you why she lost it.
But how many people never turned into page 9 or whatever it was and read about the insurance, because that wasn't mentioned on the front page.
Right, and it's just, again, some of the myths that we help to dispel here on That Business Show. Also within the reverse mortgage industry, we got Malcolm Tennant here, Chief Operating Officer of Access Reverse. Learn more about them over at accessreverse.com. Malcolm, got about a minute left here. Let's talk about how people can get in touch with you. You're over on Tyrone Boulevard in St. Petersburg. You encourage people to walk right in there, and they can also get you online. So talk about how people can get in touch with you.
Sure. We're kind of across from Tyrone Mall on Tyrone Boulevard, but so certainly walk into the office Monday to Friday, or give us a call, 727-347-0305 or 800-806-7126. The website's accessreverse.com. But probably give us a call and make sure somebody's available to meet with you when you come in. But there's a lot of knowledgeable people in the office.
Okay, and also let's get. We still got a little bit more time, so let's go ahead and get a plug back in for the Alzheimer's event coming up. Talk to me a little bit more about this for people that tune in late.
Yeah, anybody who's got interest in organizing a team of walkers in the walk, or sponsoring, or just walking in the walk, if you get in touch with me through the website or through Jamie's website, I'd be happy to get the material to you, the details. And it's a wonderful organization and a great cause.
And when is the event? And this is just a walk. It's not a run or anything. And talk to me a little bit more about the specifics.
It's just a walk. It's at Bright House Field in Clearwater, and it's in October.
In October, okay. And something obviously very near and dear to your heart. You talked about the family involvement with Alzheimer's on the first part of the second half of the show. So,
I also wanted to mention, Jamie, I've been to a lot of third world countries, and my wife Pam was actually just in North Africa last week on a medical mission, and the people they're seeing there, they saw over 1,200 people in 4 days, have no access to medical care, but they also, many of them are hauling water by hand to their homes. Many of them are anyway. The entrepreneurial spirit that you're promoting here is just, I think, phenomenal. People in so much of the world do not have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And just keep it up.
No, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, being a regular contributor here to That Business Show. So, Malcolm, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Learn more about the Access Reverse Mortgage, Access Reverse Mortgages over at accessreverse.com. Again, you've been listening to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.